No, it's always the mayor, so it's the mayor and the CFO.
Okay.
What is the mayor?
Yeah, never being the mayor. There's always the BA, I believe, and the CFO. That's why I'm asking, because
Javier, when was the last time you were the mayor? Like, oh no, it's always been the mayor, as far as I know. Alright. Javier, the escrow funds, is that part of other trusts? Yes. The developer's escrow? Yep. Any other questions?
So Council President, regarding the escrow funds, what is the balance, how they managing that?
So that's a question for another time, Councilman, with all due respect. We don't need this in this resolution. It's not part of, it's not the purpose of the resolution.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in the record on the floor, Madam BA, can you send me email, what will be the balances we open escrow account and how we gonna disperse or utilize that money? With procedure, and because we're talking about developer money though, and this was placed for that, for a purpose. I just wanna know, we are already 3 years in that escrow account, and we wanna make sure that it's used accordingly.
So Councilman, you recall last year, I went on for like months.
Correct. I recall.
So that's a great question. The timing is perfect. We want an update to see if all the issues have been resolved. So we'll have the discussion. Could you bring that to finance also, Javier? Yeah.
Especially Council President, you know, developers have been having troubles on the boards, getting their meetings, special meetings, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't want them to get the money and then sit back and relax and not get the project moving forward. So I want to make sure it's running properly.
Well, we'll have a discussion another time. Any other, okay, so if there's no other questions. Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 2 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson?
No.
You said no?
Correct.
All right. I will take it. Okay. Councilman Mims? Councilman Mims? Okay, I think she's muted though. Councilman Mims?
Just come back. Oh, she's.
Ask for a quick second, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Councilman Glaze?
Yes, I will vote yes on this.
I have to go back to Councilman Mims now.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Mr. President?
Yes.
Okay. The vote is 4 in favor, 1 against, and 4 absent. Item number 2 is hereby adopted. Number 3, Mr. President?
Yes, number 3, Madam Clerk.
Next item is item number 3, resolution authorizing payment of debt service that will be owed during the calendar year 2022. Finance Resolution 22003. Motion.
Move.
Moved by Councilman Velez.
There's
You have a
a
second.
Second.
Second one.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Yeah.
Councilman Velez.
I'm looking at the list here. Qualified bonds without no list. Green Trust Loan Program without a list. And the other one I could say is NJEIT loans, but without a list. You know, and we want to make sure who they paying, you know, especially when it comes up to the qualified bonds. And, you know, we want to make sure that our credit card is not going low.
So Councilman, so this is the debt service that we have to pay based on the debt that was issued after the council approved the ordinances. So this doesn't, if you get a list, it's not gonna specify, you don't wanna have a lot of information, basically. You want, you know, it's bonds that we approved in the past. So I don't know what you're looking for in your question.
This is the first time really I look,
Yeah, so for example.
this is the first,
All you're gonna get, Councilman, is, years. 4 years for bonds, it'll be 4 years. I can send it to you, but it's 4 years of when we borrowed the money. 4 different years. It's the same amount.
correct. And the last time we bond, and you could correct me on that, it was in 2018,
No,
payout.
Councilman,
No, last time we borrowed money was 2020
But for what reason? For what reason?
for those bonds that we did through 2020.
So Councilman, the way it works is, anytime we approve a bond ordinance, right? They don't have to go issue the debt right away. It doesn't make sense to go issue the debt right away. For example, we approve a bond ordinance right now to, let's say do a park. If they're not gonna do the park right away, they can wait to issue that debt. So they don't have to issue the debt right away.
This is the reason I'm asking. Based on what I'm seeing is that we have get money for bond for, I recall, payout for those individuals retiring. We bonded for fixed, hold on. Yes, we did. We did it in 2016, 17, not every year, but I recall when they did the bond to fix the museum, okay? Because it was court mandated, and now they're getting grants to fix the museum. So where's the money of the bonds? See, that's a good question.
So Councilman, if the bonds were issued for a specific purpose, they cannot use it for anything else. They will have to come to the council to basically reappropriate, the funding, reallocate the funding. So the only time they have some flexibility is when we vote on a bond that says park improvements. They could use it in any park, right? If you didn't specify the park by name and everything. Is that correct, Javier?
Yes.
So just like road improvement, if we don't specify, go ahead, I'll stop there. But go ahead, Councilman Velez.
The ordinance from here code
I could hear you,
So I gotta start my question there. I know what I'm looking for. Probably in the next workshop, I will give them more detail on it, or send an email to Madam BA and Javier to let me know where's that money sitting. Because we bonded for a specific project in the city. I understand the one that Councilman Flavia is saying about parks and this and that, but if we go parks and this and that, we have been using CDBG money for parks. The only park that we're not using CDBG money is the one for River Street that is put in the capital plan. But I know what I'm looking for.
No, it's the opposite. The one for River Street, they're supposed to use CDBG money. It's the opposite, Councilman.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
No.
Feel free to send me an email and I could dig into whatever it is you're looking for. We can provide you with some information.
No problem. Thank you, Madam BA. Thank you, Council President.
Roll call, Madam Clerk. You're muted, Madam Clerk.
Okay, I think it's better now. Thank you. Roll call on item number 3 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilman Jackson.
No.
Councilman Mims.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Blanche.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
Yes.
The vote is 4 in favor, 1 against, 4 absent. Item number 3 is hereby adopted.
Resolution number 4, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Next item is item number 4, resolution to supplement the annual meeting notice under the Open Public Meetings Act to address virtual meetings. Law Resolution 22004. A motion?
So, yeah.
Moved by Councilman Delacies, second by,
There a second?
I'll second.
I will move to table that.
Okay, so Council President, okay.
I second it, yeah.
Yes, I have that. Ready for the roll call?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Yeah. Roll call on item number 4 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson? Councilman Jackson? Muted. Okay. Can we come back to Councilman Jackson? Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Durant?
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, what are we voting on?
Number 4, sir. Is
No, my vote is no.
okay, thank you. Councilman Durant?
I always know on this one.
Mr. President?
My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 3 in favor, 2 against, 4 absent. Item number 4 is hereby adopted.
Council President,
Can I,
Council President.
go ahead, Councilman Velez.
Okay, it's my understanding, you know, and the reason I voted no on this one, I don't know, I mean, raise a question because, there was a lot to ask, but this is to move back again our meeting to visual, right? Correct?
No.
That's what it says. Oh, okay. So I thought, that's why I voted no, because I thought it was a permanent one to get all the meetings into visual. Okay. All right.
We covered the
I have a
item.
question.
We just have to wait for public portion, Council President. Okay,
Yes, but
right?
I have in the meantime, I have a question, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir.
When did we vote? I don't recall did we establish the meetings for the year? Was that the last meeting?
The last meeting, when I did the annual meeting notice. Hold on, let me tell you what I have on there.
Yeah, I think we established the holidays.
No, let me grab my copy.
I believe you established that on July 1st.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
We did it July 1st, but we're in a new year now. Why couldn't we do one now? That's why I'm asking the question. Why couldn't we do one now, basically, that covers the whole calendar year? Because normally you do that during the reorg, right? That's one of the things you vote on. You also vote, that I don't see here, you're supposed to basically vote on your auditor of record on your first meeting of the year. I noticed that this is done, also some grantors, before you apply, they also ask you, not a lot of them, but they also.
I think the tricky part, and I'm not sure about this, but I think you would have to move the voting period because you guys are still in May, and then you guys get put in June,
Right,
July. So you guys need a reorg in July.
You're
So
right.
you would almost have to move that to November for it to fit into the calendar.
You're right, it has to do with
Okay.
presidency.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. All right, so Council President, what happened, I just wanted to make sure I have it in front of me. What we did, we changed our budget year to calendar year, just the budget. So my annual meeting notice that I prepared, it begins in July of last year, and it ends in June of this year.
Other municipalities still doing this way, Madam Clerk? That switch from fiscal to calendar?
I am not sure, I didn't ask, but what my question, what I was concerned about when I spoke with legal, remember when we swear in the council members, their year begins in July.
Correct.
So we didn't make any change now, so they could not adjust this. So, this annual meeting notice that I have in front of me here It's dated up to July 1st when we have an inaugural ceremony and we have a reorg meeting in July. Then I would have to prepare the new annual meeting notice for beginning July this year till June of the following year.
Got it.
Yeah, and Council President, I know when we talked about the reversion with like, local government services, they said a lot of municipalities are split like this because it depends on one is the fiscal calendar, the other is the elected.
Got it.
So, Mr. President, in the meantime, would you like me to just read the public portion number into the record?
Yes.
See if we have anyone. Okay. So a public portion is now open, and anyone who wishes to participate may dial 973-321-1579, and you enter ID.
Agency. Can we request that to the administration for they could apply one?
Let's ask Corporation Council to look into it.
Corporate Council, can you look into that? If I could send a formal request?
Yes, Councilman Lawrence, please do.
Okay.
I can take a look.
Yeah, I would like to, put on the floor that I want, request a audit to the housing authority.
I think we should be able to do that. We created
Yes.
an agency, we should be able to.
It's my understanding one of the commissioners resigns based on allegations, so I would like to formally request a audit to the housing authority. So I don't know if this is a good platform to request it, or you still want an email to your council, corporate council.
Yes, Councilman Velez, if you can, I would definitely prefer an email request from you, just detailing exactly what you want to audit, and I'll certainly follow up with you and work with you to accomplish that.
No problem. I also going to bring it to the committee myself, and I will explain why I want to do this. Why I want to do this. And I believe you guys could agree with me.
Thank you. Do we have any speakers, Madam Clerk?
But we're waiting. I give them at least 3 minutes, but yeah.
We're giving them some time since we.
We gave them enough, so at 7:30, and it's not to discourage the public from participating, but we announced it at the beginning. Announced it 10 minutes ago.
2 more minutes?
At 7:30. If we don't have anyone logged in at 7:30,
Okay, all right.
then
So
we
let's,
will close the meeting.
all right, we just wait for 2 more minutes and see what happens. And then we can. Thank you, Council President, and all the other council members who were diligent to listen to my call and my plea to have this meeting. Because if not, we would have to schedule another meeting, emergency.
Anything for you, Madam Clerk, you're the experienced person there.
Thank you very much, Councilman Velez. You always work very well with me. I know. Anyone? Just have 1 more minute to go. So, Council President, we completed all the items. There were 4 items. So just the public portion is what we are just giving us a couple more minutes for. So all the items in the agenda is completed. Council President, at some point tomorrow, because I have to have you sign these, you have some time on your lunchtime to hop in?
I'll try tomorrow.
You'll try? Okay.
Madam Clerk,
Yes, sir.
I believe some individuals are receiving text that they're trying to log in to the phone. Can you give us a little bit break on that? Just to
Okay.
preserve.
All right, let me reach out to my IT person.
Read the information again, Madam Clerk.
Okay, yes. For the public portion, please dial 973-321-1579, and the ID code is 8326. And you press *3 if you'd like to be to speak on the public portion. Star 3, 973-321-1579. ID code is 8326. I think Ryan is working on it. Nobody? Councilman Velez, what was the problem with the speaker?
I believe they're trying to get the code and they cannot
Okay.
go in that quickly, so, unless the lines are bombed. So, I believe, Councilman Jackson has some of those speakers out there.
Okay. 973-321-1579. And the ID code is 8326. And then they press star 3. They will be connected. Nobody.
Are we having technical difficulties? Yes, Councilman Jackson.
Mr. Council President, I'm out here in front of 111 Broadway with members of the public who don't have access, who was disappointed that we weren't going live in the chambers. And there's a few speakers here that would like to speak live via this mechanism versus calling in. Family members of the young man who lost his life are here. Members of Black Lives Matter organization is here. So how many individuals are you going to allow to speak during the public portion?
They could call in as many, we don't have a limit. They just gotta call it in.
So once again, Zully Thomas said he made several attempts to call in and was unable. So I'm here, I'm live, this feed is live, they can speak live right here on this mechanism.
Madam Clerk, are we having technical difficulties?
But not to my knowledge, Ryan said there's a speaker on the line now.
Okay.
It sounds like y'all having a lot of technical difficulties over here, man.
So Madam Clerk,
Yes, sir.
we have the first speaker, please?
Okay. Ryan, could you put through the first speaker? Thank you.
You ready?
Ryan, did you have the first speaker on? Yeah, I have. Okay, okay. Give him a minute, Council President. Ryan is going to be the first speaker. Go ahead. Please state your name and address for the record, sir.
Yes, my name is, first name is James. My last name is Roshlin. My address is 56 Monroe Street, and Garfield. And I grew up out where my little bro, I call him my little bro, Thaddeus. I grew up where everything sadly happened, and like we're just like devastated out here. And you know, we just trying to find some answers. He's trying to find some answers. He didn't have to. He didn't have to suffer through that. Nobody should have to suffer through that. Nobody. Very difficult to even speak right now.
Madam Clerk, can you give me that dial number, please?
973-321-1579. And the ID code is 8326. And it's press star 3 to be connected.
Okay, calling in now.
Yes. Okay. All right, the next, I'm sure the first speaker is finished, so we'll put through the next speaker.
I have a one second to speak. My name is Warren Ellis. I'm at 601 East 18th Street, Paterson, New Jersey. I'm a United States Army veteran. What I find very upsetting is that this town can invest so much money in everything else, as big as this city is, but you won't invest in tasers. You got these wild steroid cowboys that don't live in the city of Paterson running around here like this is some third world country, killing, you know what I'm saying, innocent black and Latino men with no reason. For no reason other than that, the thing they hyped up on whatever they take it before they come and work. And you minimize the public, you know what I'm saying, speaking, but you allow your councilperson to speak all day. Don't give us 1 second. Don't give us 1 minute. Don't give us 3 minutes. Give us enough time as we need to voice our opinion. Stop suppressing us like we keep doing. This is how we say. And you people just keep suppressing us like we came into like we following y'all. And if they ain't got a salary. I sit here and watch on every other week, and y'all speak for hours, but the public only gets 3 minutes to speak. Is that hypocritical or what? Hey, yeah, you need to take a look at yourself. You need to take a look and ask yourself why people aren't coming to the city meetings anymore. You know what I'm saying? Is because is there no problems in Paterson? No, because there's no result.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk, if this speaker already finished,
Okay. Seems like he's finished. I haven't heard anything. Okay, Ryan, can you put through? I think there's another speaker he said online. Can you put through the other speaker, please?
Hello?
Go ahead. You may state your name and address for the record.
Yes, this is Zoe Thomas. This is Zoe Thomas right now calling to the city council meeting. I'm outside the Paterson police station right now. We're coming up on the anniversary of Jameek Lowry's death in 2019. And back then, we warned the city council and administration that if it was going to have body cameras, we need to have body cameras of every single officer, especially those that are in plainclothes units. We warned them time and time again, the administration, and he failed to act. And because he failed to act, we have a young man dead, and we cannot hold the police accountable because they claim he does not have body cameras. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. The mayor needs to be held accountable for the fact and the way that he criminalized Rah-Rah by saying that Rah-Rah was shooting at the cops, even though the Attorney General's office has investigation of this. He has investigation of this. He can't walk that back. He criminalized and death. He cannot be able to defend himself because the cops killed him. He cannot be able to defend himself because his cops killed him. And we want to hold him accountable. These officers should have been had body cameras the sheriff, this is the Black Lives Matter Paterson. When we first said this, now we have a young man dead, and their excuse is they don't have body cameras. Those officers should have never been on the force in the first place, and they need to be held accountable. This force needs to be held accountable, and we need justice for Rawa. Say his name! Say his name! We are out here, we are organized, and we're not gonna leave until we get justice for Rawa. No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President, let me check with Ryan. Is there another speaker, Ryan? Okay, Mr. President, there's no other speaker at this time. There's no other call, sir.
Do you have a motion to close? Actually, do you want to closing comments on, the concerns of the residents before we close the meeting? So I want to raise a question, Madam BA. I've been talking about these body cameras now for 3 years. First, when we were told that there was no money, I urged and we, the council, put money in the capital plan to get some more cameras. I'm sure the money was there. Why is it that all the police officers don't have body cameras?
Council President, did you want to have a motion and a second first, for the closing of the public portion?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, let's have a motion and a second to close the public portion.
Move to close.
Councilman Velez, okay.
Moved by Councilman Velez and second by Abdelaziz. Roll call to close the public portion.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call to close the public portion. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Jackson.
Madam Clerk. First
Yes,
of
sir.
all, before I vote, Madam Clerk, I want to say that it's shameful that we do everything in our power to make sure that the public's voice is at the conference. He's at every other press conference, but every time somebody in our community loses their lives, he conveniently finds himself to be absent. And that shows a great deal of distrust from this community. He has absolutely no respect for our community, and he does not deserve to be there any longer. We approved the body cameras over 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and he failed to implement these body cameras, and now another person has lost their lives senselessly to another hand of an officer. It's shameful for him to have done so.
He has to reach out to the family, yes.
And
Make sure they know that.
And yet to the public, the mayor he's not an investigator. He should have never have done so. So with that being said, Madam Clerk, as all of my votes for this evening in protest of this young man losing his life, my vote is no.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Names?
So I am, there's so many violations that take place, in our community when things are done. And this is the second time that a comment or a status was made as it relates to an incident that happened in our community as it relates that should be heard from after these type of incidents is from the Attorney General or the prosecutor's office. And this is the second time that there was a comment made or an assertion or an assumption that was made of what took place on that night. As a mother and as a grandmother, watching that video, heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. Telling you, I am putting it on record that something needs to be said and put in writing, and the violation of commentary being made prior to the Attorney General and the prosecutor's office when there is an investigation. Comment that should be made should be from the Attorney General and the prosecutor. That is the law. It was said in the last incident, and here we are with a repeated situation. Praying for the family, praying for all of those that are impacted by this senseless situation. Very, very sad in our community, And if you don't feel anything, you don't have a heart. This is a very, 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 very sad day in our city, very sad day for our community. My heartfelt clerk, my vote to close the meeting. I'm in agreement that, speakers are there, and I know there is a protocol, but I am praying that those people get an opportunity to voice their opinions and voice their hurts and voice their disappointments, because their voices need to be heard. And time out for silencing them, time out for ignoring the voices of the community. They need to be heard, and they need to be heard loud and clear that it will not be tolerated. I am praying for the families. Madam Clerk, my vote is no to close the meeting.
No, we're not closing the meeting, we're closing the public portion.
My vote is no.
Okay, Councilman Velez?
Madam Clerk, it is disturbing, and everybody could agree with this. With the situation that we are going through in our city, another great cloud is over us. And when it comes up to the peace of our community, I cannot sit on the side and not do nothing. I think it was disrespectful. I remember that Tuesday, we was in a council meeting, a closeout meeting, and we even got the courtesy to receive a text what was going on. We find out because Councilman Jackson put in the air that this was going on, but yet the mayor resolved the case without investigating it, making a statement publicly in the news, making it publicly all over the media, and I think is disrespectful for all the families out there that have been going through this type of incident in our city. We pray for peace, and yes, we pray for the family that are going through this tragedy, because it's a tragedy that I will not decide no one to go through. But yes, answers needs to be, questions needs to be answered, and I think this administration have failed to have that communication, not only in this case, in previous cases that the city or any official are involved. So saying that, I just want to pray for the family and make sure that the community gets the peace that they deserve, and this case is resolved in timely fashion, because we need some peace in our city, in our street, in our community. So saying that, knowing that we had the right to speak, so saying that, my vote is no to close the public portion.
Mr. President?
But I just want to share that everything's not politics, everything's not intentional. If we didn't use this medium today, this platform, to have this meeting would have never taken place. We started an hour late because it was hard to get a quorum. You have some people that have some circumstances that have come up, others are out of the country. So if we did not use this platform, we would not have this meeting tonight. So let's not turn everything into politics. This meeting was not done, through Zoom because of the demonstration outside. So all I want to say, everything's not politics, everything's not intentional. My vote is yes to close the public portion.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are 2 in favor, 3 against, and 4 absent. The public portion is now closed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we close the meeting, I just have that question from the VA.
Hold on for a minute. You have 3, you have 3 against, 2 in favor to close the public portion, so that fails.
What's the number, Madam Clerk?
2 in favor, 3 said no, and we have 4 absent.
So do we have any speakers, Madam Clerk?
Madam Clerk, I'll change my vote to close it, yes.
Thank you, because there's no other speaker on there, Mr. President.
Yeah, if we want to stay looking at one another all night, feel free.
So the vote is 3 in favor, 2 against, and 4 absent. So the public portion for the budgetary meeting is now closed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Move to adjourn.
Madam VA, the question that I asked is bring it to the next workshop or to the next, just send that email to all the council members where we stand with the body cameras. Want to make sure that every police officer, and I said this 3 years ago, when I took office, we put the money in place to buy some of the cameras. And at this point in time, we should have enough funds for everyone to have a camera.
Council President,
Who second the motion to close the meeting?
not yet. Council President,
Is there a, okay.
I second it.
Council President,
So it was moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman De La Cis.
Council President, before you close, move to close the meeting. There was an item on the month of November to equip everyone with cameras. And one of the questions we did in public safety, it was if it was the plain clothes officer that will carry also a camera in November. That this was in the public safety meeting in November. And they say they are ready to use, on them too. So there's a lot of question there why it's not.
Great point. How about we get a report at the next workshop meeting and we could discuss it in more detail?
Correct.
That way that Madam VA could reach out to the police department also, and we could have a better discussion. So we have a first and a second, Madam Clerk. Could we do a roll call to close the meeting?
Yes, sir. Roll call to close the budgetary meeting of January 4th, 2022. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So, can you hear me, Madam Clerk?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I apologize. I'm
That's
mobile,
okay.
so things are a little difficult.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this. Relative to Councilman Rivera's comment, since I've ever paid any attention to the council meetings, he's been aiding this administration the entire time that he's been there, including his tenure as a council president is the worst as I've ever seen as well. There's been no oversight whatsoever. This administration has done everything that they wanted to do. We've given them everything. They've spent over 150 on that line item just to get rid of her. And then you callously turn around and try to give her a recognition on her way out. Sir, format for this administration and his failure needs to be owned by you as well, because you've been a constant supporter of him and his failed administration. So with that being said, Madam Clerk, I'm not even I'll stay on to listen to his rhetoric, but my vote is no. Again, being consistent.
We all have a heart. So it's not about politics. It's about extending condolences to a family, to a community that is hurting. Paterson, I stand with you, for you, and I represent you every single day. Paterson, God bless you. Let's keep building and let's battling. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Velez?
Madam Clerk, you worked hard to get us into this meeting today. I commend you because, we got into this meeting. At the same time, I have learned how to separate a government agenda with public and community agenda. And other hands, I request the prosecutor's office or the attorney general office to make sure that this investigation is conducted properly and make sure that whatever result bring the peace that this family is requesting, and also bring the peace that our city deserves in this moment of trials and this moment of difficulties that our city going on right now. We cannot stabilize our city with more problems, with more situations. And I respect everyone's comments. I know how to separate community agenda and community and also government agenda. So that's why I got elected. So I will stand for the community at 150%. And also I will do my diligent work as a councilman that the people elect me for. So saying that, let's pray for the family. Let's pray for the peace of our community and making sure that the investigation that they are conducting bring more peace and resolve a lot of issues that we have still pending in our city. So whoever has the responsibility to come forward to this community and make sure they get the right answer, do so. Saying that, good night, God bless you, peace, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. President?
So I just want to tell the viewers, first of all, let me give my condolences to the family. And second of all, it is disturbing how you have council members serve for many, many years and they still don't understand how city government works. Give the public an opportunity to speak, that is all lies. I just can't comprehend how elected officials lie so much. I just can't about everything. If you don't have anything, to add, sometimes it's just better to just stay quiet. When I passed a comment about everything's not about politics, I was referring to that one of the council members here implied, Councilman Jackson implied that, we don't let the public speak. They're responsible.
Council President, Councilman Jackson,
We don't have a quorum.
we don't have a quorum, that's why.
All right, so the meeting's over.
Okay.
So that's Councilman Jackson for you. All of this informing the public of the line.
Well, Council President, if I may, since they voted already and we're not voting on any item, then if I have your vote, then it's fine. I can just announce the vote because the meeting is over. They already voted.
Just announced the vote, but it's shameful that another council member here tried to black for my other colleagues, which is shameful. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Council President. They voted already, so I'm going to announce the vote is 4 in favor, 1 against, and 4 absent. The budgetary meeting of January 4th, 2022 is hereby adjourned. Good night, everyone, and thank you very much for everything. Okay, bye now.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, all for you.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot. Glad we got this through.
That was very shameful.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.